is just kind of talk. I just sent out our evening broadcast newsletter, and talked about basically doubling down on the fundamentals. And I kind of came to the conclusion that I was going to talk about this because a lot of the mentors that I've been listening to and watch and follow. They really confirmed my suspicions that when you have a time like this, it's really not a time to start looking to try to get, into something that's, hot, or, even something that's, looks new. But, if you can, going back to those fundamentals that we've been talking about since the beginning of this challenge, which is, trying to build an engaged and a very affectionate list, for yourself. And, you can do that by, talking to them on a regular basis. And I said, I think you should be talking daily. Pretty much what I'm doing. I think that also you should be teaching, on a daily basis, and that you should be doing something every day to build your list. Now, that being said, at the end of all this, we talked about, trying to get into your ideal niche or your ideal market. You might have wondered, why I said that market and why not the make money online market. I think you should consider, staying with whatever you're doing, to make, in the MMO or the JVZoo Warrior Plus niche. But if you have an ideal market and one that you've always wanted to be into, this is a really good time for you to pick the position where you want to be, and then just really just fight in order to get there, because there is no secret, to getting a position in the marketplace. And the only way that I know of, and again, confirm this, I really had this confirmed to me, by multiple mentors, is really, you're going to have to outwork the person and the people inside of the sub niche that you want to be in, where you want to be positioned in. There is really no other way. And so if you can do that, pretty much doing some of the things that, we have been talking about, which is teaching, on a daily basis, doing one thing to build your list every day, doing one thing where you're asking for the sale every day. And even if you don't ask for the sale every day, really working at being the voice in your marketplace, being the voice in your, in your sub niche. And the danger in this, and I really am going to close out now, is spectating. Right? Because there's so many people probably, ahead of you, and so many people maybe you feel like are already where you want to be, or you just almost feel like, well, I should have been there by now. I've been talking about doing this all these years and I didn't do anything, or I've been talking about doing all these months and all these people, they're already ahead of me. I can almost promise you that if you will just kind of focus and double down on the fundamentals, building your list, turning that list into an audience, teaching every day, then you will be positioned whenever this thing ends in a very good place. You'll certainly be better positioned than you were before it started. But some people are just not going to be willing to do the work. You can count on that. And some people are going to spectate, and some people are going to be paralyzed by this. If you can just, again, double down on the fundamentals, and then really work to be that voice in your sub niche, by the time all this is over, you'll be in your proper position. And again, I wish I could have had that. I would have been the one to come up with this, right? That just the emphasis on this. I think it was, Ben Settle and Dan Kennedy and a bunch of other people that really just confirmed my suspicions about this, that this is the time when go back to the fundamentals, focus on building your list, and then work like you've never worked before in order to get there. Really kind of to close out for real this time, I learned this lesson, I think, early on in life, and I can't even say I've done this a lot, but there was a period of time where I was not allowed to leave my yard. Because of the way gangs were in Chicago. My parents were really protective, and they just didn't let me go outside of the yard. When I was young. And so there was this wall where I had a tennis ball, and I would just pitch as if I were pitching, a real Little League game up against the wall for hours. And, I had no idea what I was doing, but I was working on curveballs and sliders and all these other things. And, to make a long story short, when I finally got my opportunity in both Little League and high school, I didn't play in college, I could throw just about any pitch that there was. And here's the point, right? Without trying to make this too deep, it was a period of confinement where I had nothing else to do but practice. And so whatever you're going to practice on during this period of time, whatever you're going to work on, this will be a defining moment for you if you choose to make it that way. And you can make it that way, if you double down on the fundamentals, pick one that you're just going to work on until you get to where you need to be. And I promise you, but I can't promise you you're going to make $1 billion. I mean, I can't promise you that. I'm not even going to promise you that your list is going to be super huge. What I can promise you is that market position that you're trying to attain, you will be either close or very close to it if you do this. Okay, so with that, everybody, that's it for tonight. Like I said, I didn't want to get on PowerPoint and teach tonight. I just really wanted to kind of convey what I feel like is that message. And I hope that was helpful for you. And once again, just kind of take a look around, and I will be back at you tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon.